Okay, kusasa kuzokudibening ngonyama Nigeria and South Africa. No, Nigeria should be on the left. So South Africa versus Nigeria. South Africa is playing at home. So this is the FIFA World Cup qualifier. South Africa is number 1, is leading Nigeria with 6 points. Nigeria is number 3, and they are here in South Africa to play, to try and fight for the spot with Club World Cup in North America next year. South Africa need a win to actually qualify, and Nigeria need we need 3 wins to actually try and qualify. If they do not qualify, then to get a chance to go to playoffs, and maybe from the playoffs they might get a spot we World Cup in North America next year. And it will be a shame if Nigeria is not there, because Nigeria is one of the biggest squads in Africa, the caliber of players that they have. So it will be very, very shame if they are not there. So I wish that after the game of South Africa, the 2 remaining games they win, so that they might get a chance to go my playoffs and then continue and be representing Africa with World Cup. Looking at our approach at our team, way 2. If 4-4-2 in Nigeria, a flat, sometimes 4-4-2 at Diamond, ubuki 4-2-3-1 with South Africa. Offensive approach in South Africa, defensive approach in Nigeria. Now, before ngiqhubeke nokuhlakaza le game, because ngiyihlabile manje, mase ngitshela ukuthi ne 4-4-2 a flat ne Diamond kuno 4-2-3-1, offensive versus defensive approach. Sengiyihlabile already, into esele ukuthi ngiyihlinze ngiyihlahlele mase ngiyayaba. So but before ngiyihlinze, angikubuze, give me one reason why you have not subscribed. Just one reason why you have not subscribed to Nevertheless Commentaries. Go to the comment section and give me that reason why you have not subscribed. Back to the game. Uma bese ukuthi defensive approach in Nigeria le 4-4-2, whether i-flat or i-diamond, depending of ama players are selected to coach on the day, you want to decide whether i-4-4-2 yabo i-flat or i-diamond. For instance, uma bekhona lo mjida we-mask lo gqoka number 9, they play a diamond 4-4-2 because of the type of a player that guy is. But since he was injured on Saturday, they might approach with a 4-4-2 flat. Number will have to work overtime, because those guys are so huge. They are giants, they are strong, and even aerially they are a threat. I'm hoping Utyuko Bruce have an answer to that, because if they're coming with that 4-4-2 flat, that means they are coming with a defensive approach. But when they are on position, that means they will attack from the wing play, whipping in crosses. And because those guys are tall, strong, and have aerial advantage, then it's going to be a disaster for South Africa, since our central defenders especially are short and youngsters. Mbeka is strong, but those guys are giants and he is short. So it's going to be very, very hard to deal with aerial balls if should coach Nigeria approach with a 4-4-2 a flat, if that guy, the mastermind, is not there. Now, sibuke structures in Nigeria with this 4-4-2 flat here. If they're flat, they want to make sure they protect the goal with all that they have, because they want to keep a position. If you watch the game against Rwanda, you could see what the instruction was: Aina, you do not go up. Which to me, as a football lover and as a fan of football, was a mistake, because every time Aina moves up the lines, Nigeria looks more dangerous. Let me repeat this. If Aina moves up the line, Nigeria looks more dangerous. And even the goal that they scored against Rwanda, it was because Aina had moved up the lines and he struck that ball. Luckily, the number 10 was under the line, under bar, I can say so. And then he finished it. Nigeria won and got the full 3 points. But the approach is, 4-4-2 flat, we are going to keep position. We are going to deny South Africa to break through the lines in front of goal, but we will push them to play on their wings, but send the show what we press them, that ama cross bangakwazi ukuwipha in. finding it. That's not how South Africa plays, because South Africa doesn't have tall strikers. We do have Ulail Foster, but Ulail Foster, I don't think, can have an aerial advantage against those tall Nigerian defenders. So that's not the style of the South African football, to try and whip in the crosses. But we will try to get behind the defense, because we have nippy and skillful players who can take on our defenders. Luckily, for what I've seen with the Nigerian defenders, they've been playing with the best of the best in the world, and they are familiar with the experience of a nippy players. But I'm not sure if those nippy players are in the caliber of the South African players, because hey, simnandi man, South Africa. Ushukela mfuthu khona. Ushukela ukhona, and intshebe irasta losala phansi. Irasta liyogundeka lisale phansi. Indoda ishilize ngedidi phansi, umfana eshanga eshibobo. Because that's how good South Africans are with ball in their foot. They are not strong physically like Nigerians are, but they are good. They are good with their feet, and they know football. So the South African approach is an offensive approach. I do not know Hugo Bruce between Urele and Rilvary Foster, but knowing Hugo Bruce, well, Tandy must say like Bafana. So bubuki structure between Urele no Apollos. Apollos is a little bit stronger physically than Urele Mfokeng. So knowing Coach Hugo Bruce, he will start with Ozuna Police. But my worry though is at the back, the center back pairing. I think he might opt for Ungezana, because he will try to contest Ebola aerially. Ungezana Semazune height. Though Sinayo Mbekezenboga is one of the strongest defenders we have in the Betway Premiership, but he is shorter than those Nigerian guys. And this guy, Ungezana, he got a little bit of height advantage. Maybe a coach might start with him to actually try and deal with those aerial balls, which is going to be good. And also, goalkeeper needs to work over time trying to deal with those aerial balls, because I see Nigeria approaching with those aerial balls, taking the ball to the wingers and whip them in, hoping that because their strikers are tall, then they're going to find those headers or hold the ball, hold the play for the oncoming players. Yabazo Chikwezu, they are deadly. Nigeria has top players, but it's just a matter of this defensive approach. Coach, I think it's limiting the players of Nigeria, but we will see as the time progresses, because you could see that there's something going on. The way that they started qualifiers is not the same as how they're doing now. They've progressed, and they look like a much better team than what they used to be, I think, last year when these qualifiers were starting. And this is a different Nigeria than the Nigeria South Africa played in the AFCON semi-final. We know that we lost to Nigeria on penalties. They went on to play the final and lost. But this is a different Nigeria compared to that one. But I'm hoping that coaches in Nigeria have studied in South Africa, the way that they play. Coming back to Ekayage, man. So we full back, left, we okay there, because Konum team. And with central pairing, it's where I'm questioning whether Umboga's on Perishan. And this thing of scrambling, not having a permanent pairing that understands each other, is going to be a problem. It's going to cost us in the long run. We need to find a player that's going to pair with Umbogas. We have a lot of good central defenders to Betway Premiership, including Nayo Ngezana, though he's not in the Betway Premiership when playing abroad, but he's also decent. But we also have good top players who are comfortable on the ball that we have with Betway Premiership, that we need to bring to the national team to actually pair with Umbogas. Umbogas is still young, but he's a hustler, he's a worker, he's strong, he can play, he's also comfortable with the ball, which makes it easy for South Africa to start their play from the back. So in Nigeria, if they are smart, they will want to press South Africa and force them to make mistakes at the back and capitalize on that. But South Africa can be good. They can try and press them and then open space as center. That's where they're going to break them. There's no master chef, Lapaya. And that guy has has i-confidence ongakazi uyibone emhlabeni, igqomu ipiano straight le confidence, ipiano elihlangene negqomu le confidence uMaster Chef na. And ikhona uTebogo Mokoena who also is very good on the ball. And once saba kwi-progressive lines siyakwile kwi-final third, uyena uTebogo Mokoena can shoot outside the box, Umbata can shoot outside the box, Ozun Apolis can shoot outside the box, Master Chef can shoot outside the box. So we have plenty of options, and we also have nippy players who can play those passes in between the spaces and find a striker set to Rilvary Foster. And Rilvary Foster is good on holding the play. He is good on playing short passes and also opening it game wide. He is deadly on the ball. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. Since South Africa is in a 4-2-3-1, which is a dominant on the ball and an offensive approach. On the other hand, Nigeria is coming with a 4-4-2, sometimes a flat 4-4-2 or a diamond 4-4-2, depending on the type of players that they select on the day, which is a defensive approach. So tomorrow we are watching a defensive approach, which is Nigeria, versus an offensive approach, which is South Africa. But both these teams like to dictate the terms of the game, like to have control of the game. So in the percent. So Master Chef, if he starts the game as a number 10, he will need to work hard alongside Umbata, Notebogo Mokoena. If coach chose to start number 10, Urele will have to produce magic. And we know the guy is very, very talented, he's special, and he can produce magic. I'm hoping Utixas South Africa will play good. I think a draw will be enough, and it will be a decent score for Nigeria if you're looking at the caliber, if the type of player and the caliber of the players that they have. And I wish with Nigeria, after the game of South Africa, will go on and win the remaining 2 games, so that they will go to playoffs and compete there and be the part of the 10 teams that we're going to send to the World Cup. Because I believe that we need the strongest teams from Africa to go and compete World Cup. Good luck to both teams. We will see you, but the best team on the day is going to win the game. The best team on the day is the one that's going to win a game. So good luck to both teams. Good luck to both coaches, and all the best to our fans as Nigeria, the Nigerians and the South Africans, and may the best team wins. One question though, give me one reason why you have not subscribed to Nevertheless Commentaries. Just write it on the comment section why you have not subscribed yet. Lana siyahlaba, sihlinze, sihlahlele, siyabe. Indoda nendoda kuyofika iphekele ekhaya abafuthi, ayikho indoda engaphekelenge. So injalo nje, siyahlaba, siyahlinza, siyahlahlela, siyayaba. Indoda nendoda iphekele ekhaya. Subscribe, like and share this video. I will see you on the next one. After the game, actually tomorrow, when we look at what happened, what transpired on the game, then we'll sit down again. My name is Sipon Lovu. This is Nevertheless Commentaries. I'm out.